got her home in one piece. She's now parked in the stable. Hasn't run in approximately 30 years, so should be a fun project. Found some really cool stuff inside. Had to drill the locks out because family lost keys. But overall, pretty amazing. Other than being dirty, interior is actually in fair condition for sitting in the Arizona heat for 30 years plus outside. If I had to guess, it's probably sat outside in the sun its whole life. So 1971, 51 years. Used to be like an olive green or lime green or whatever color you can see there. Now it's this, I don't know if it was like a house paint or what it was. This paint did not fare well, but I'm the lucky recipient. I just got to make it run. So we'll try to do another video of just making it run, kind of like it as is. Clean it up. We'll drive it. We'll go do burnouts. Obviously gonna need some tires. Not gonna go too far on these. These were barely enough to get it on the trailer. So, yep, pretty cool. Roof was caved in. I was able to just pop it out. I'll drop a picture or something of that in. I don't know if I got that in the video. A little bit of cancer. Gonna have to do some rework there, but no body damage really, other than the roof. All the rust is on top. Didn't see any rust on the underside in any of the quarters, which is pretty usual for Arizona. You know, most of the sun baking and stuff happens from the top, so the moisture doesn't come from the ground, it comes from rainfall and leaves sitting on it and whatnot. So alright, so as you can see, I drilled out the lock cylinder and going to get the trunk open for the first time. You gotta go in there and you kind of have to get into the mechanism. Mechanism is, you can see in there, not really gonna focus, but you can kind of just turn it with a screwdriver and open it up. So, first time looking in this trunk. Been closed for approximately 30 years. And it's kind of looks like it's been shut for 30 years, right? Not much in here. A bit of oil. Maybe this thing was using oil, I don't know. Not sure what that is. Looks like a brand new air cleaner. Looks to be just a spare tire. It says JCPenney ground gainer. Steel belted radial, I guess is what that is. Jug antifreeze. The jack is pretty toasty. Not thinking there's a whole lot salvageable, but it's pretty cool. First look in here, I actually pulled the seats out and got a close look at what was in here before I opened the trunk. Like I said, I don't have keys for this rig, so I doing what I can to get in it. So, pulled the seats out, rear seats. I kind of got to poke, peek in here, just to kind of get an idea of what I was digging for. But I was kind of hoping to find some old relics, some old documents or something, just to kind of tell the story of this rig. Here's the seats to give you an idea of how good the seats really are. Seats, not a tear on them. They're just dirty, but pretty original. The top of the seat is a little bit worn, sun faded, but you can see the vinyl is still in really good shape. Backs of the seats are actually still nice and soft. Pretty interesting. A little automobile archaeology. I've been fiddling quite a bit actually, trying to make this thing run. I had knocked the ignition out of it, trying to get it home because we didn't have keys. So I had to put a new ignition cylinder in, which I did here. You can see a nice new ignition. I drilled the old one out so that we could get it out of gear and get it to steer. But now we have a new ignition so we can start it. So to do that, I had to actually take the old distributor that was in there out. It was nearly seized up. So I just ordered a cheapo distributor, HEI distributor on Amazon. I think it was $75 or something shipped. So I have started it up a couple of times already, disconnected the fuel so that I wasn't squirting fuel everywhere, and especially putting all that nasty gas that's been in this thing for 30 plus years in the Arizona heat, which we all know will turn fuel into varnish in a couple of years. So 30 years, you can imagine. Anyway, we disconnected the fuel pump, or the fuel line from the fuel pump so that it wouldn't pump fuel. And the oil pressure line was all brittle and cracked, which it was squirting oil everywhere, so we know that it's got at least some oil pressure. Don't know just exactly how much yet, but anyway, I'm gonna do a startup and show everybody how it runs. Okay, here we go. I've squirted a little bit of gas with some 2-cycle oil in it, and we'll turn it over real quick. Runs pretty good. That's just a little bit of gas that I had squirted into the float bowls so that it would try and run for a little while, at least while I could check things. But so far so good. Playing with the carburation, I actually ended up picking up a used carburetor, an Edelbrock 600 CFM for $200. It was like brand new, so with an air cleaner. Put it on, runs like a top. It really just cranks right off. I need to play with the idle mixture a little bit. The idle's a little bit too high. Play with the fuel mixture a little bit, but I did find that the radiator, top radiator hose, was not flowing any water. So I looked down into the thermostat housing. As you can see, it was packed full of sediment, corrosion, 35 years worth of galvanic, probably, reactions. Inside of the manifold was pretty caked. I was able to get probably 99% of it out, and then did a flush on the radiator and the cooling system. I I believe, all of it out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is actually go through and put hoses in it. I did put a master cylinder on it because it had no pedal at all. When I put it in gear, it would just go, and I needed to be able to stop. So I put a master cylinder on it, 30 bucks, well worth it. Blood it, and works great. Did get the oil pressure gauge hooked up, still haven't installed it, but it's there. We'll light it off and you can see for yourself. A little bit of a miss, but it's got some Flowmaster exhaust, some Flowmaster mufflers on it. Actually sounds pretty good. I did dump some Berrymans down the carburetor trying to fix the miss. It helped, so I think it's just deposits and stuff. It is running nice and cool, not having any problems. Of course, just idling. I've only driven it around the yard. Haven't gotten it out on the road. Tires are needing just a little bit of attention. I got one on the other side that I still gotta throw another used tire on it. But it's making good progress. I'm pretty happy so far. It runs really strong. It shifts really nice. Just got to figure out the fuel mixture in the carb, get that dialed in. I still haven't timed it. I'll do some timing, I think, and just start playing with it and drive it. Oil looked really good in it for being as old as it was, but I am going to change that. Just wanted to get all the flush and everything out of the way before I changed it. So I got all that to do yet, and I'll do another quick clip. Till then, well, back on the Monte Carlo again today. Just basically doing some cleaning up, vacuuming out, just seeing what we're up against. Pretty gnarly. You can see a lot of the rust and cancer going on. It's rain and rust. Yeah, not cleaning up horrible for something that's set for 35, almost 36 years. Trunk was pretty bad. A lot more rot in here than I thought there was going to be. As you can see, a lot of weight reduction. Lots of weight reduction. But it's repairable. We can replace that. This is going to be the harder one. You know, I've got to cut that out and obviously put in new. But I've got a whole slew of parts going in. I've got brake lines, I've got brake booster, got oil and filter, got some stuff here, as you can see. Gonna do a few things. Got to put a thermostat in there. A little bit of wiring, fixing up. For the most part, going pretty well. I'm happy. She runs really good. Got some plugs to put in it. Give it another shot. Shabby. They should run a lot better with those new plugs in there. Put some new wires on, that kind of stuff. Just clean up that spark a little bit. And of course, just on the carburetor some. But we're getting there. I think I'm gonna actually take her for a drive here pretty soon. The brakes are still touchy, but got maybe just enough to get it down the road. Nice little rumble. About ready to go for a drive. Think it'll run good. Put some gas in the tank this morning, been flushing it out. Pretty nasty varnish in the tank, so I think the fuel sock is partially plugged. It's not getting a great fuel flow, but definitely drivable. Got the brakes going, put new brake calipers on it. Yeah, we're gonna go for a drive. First drive went well. Easton, my co-pilot. She made it in one piece. All right, you ready to crawl in there, dude? Yeah. Okay. We'll get a little video of while we're driving. You're gonna have to hold the camera though. Okay, my professional videographer. Okay, you're gonna hold the camera and kind of, yep, you know what to do.